Hi there makers, it is Jo here, and today I'm continuing with my pocket series where we take you through a few tips and techniques for applying pockets. Today I'm looking at lined pockets. I'm looking at how, why and when you would line a pocket, and you might be able to take a few of the tips today into one of your own projects. Whether you line a pocket will depend very much on your fabric choice. So whatever I'm saying today, take everything with a little bit of a pinch of salt in your mind, depending on what fabric type you are choosing. If you've got a fine fabric, you might find that self-lining it will show the print through. If you're lining a thick fabric, you'll want to think about maybe reducing bulk. If you've got a shaped pocket top, then you'll want to be thinking about lining it so that if the edge of it is revealed a little bit, you see the same fabric on the other side. I'm not going to talk much through today's video face to face. Most of the tutorial will be at the tabletop. The easiest way to line pockets is to cut out exactly the same pocket piece. So this pocket with its V bottom here has been cut out twice, and then with right sides together it's been turned out, and it's just made that pocket a little more stable because this is a cotton lawn, and if I'd made a pocket that big in just a single layer of cotton lawn, I might find it start to gape a little bit and not hold the structure. It's ideal for a patterned fabric because you can't see if any of the lining from the other side is coming through. You can just see there. This is the easiest way. You simply cut out 4 of the pocket pieces, sew them right sides together, leave a gap and turn them out. But there are other ways that you can line pockets. If you've got a bulkier fabric, or you want to make sure that none of your lining is showing across the top of your pocket, then you can line your pocket but allow for some of the self fabric to still be at the top. In order to do this, you will extend the length of your pocket. So I've added 4 centimeters here, and I've got a 1 centimeter seam allowance. I'm going to pin the lining to the pocket along that top edge. I've got a 1 centimeter seam allowance, but I'm going to leave a turning gap here. I've sewn in white so you can see what I've done. And then you're going to press the lining away from the rest of the pocket. Next, you'll see how the top now is folded over and your lighter lining fabric will be lower down inside your pocket. And so your seam allowance, whatever you've drafted. So if you've drafted a 1 centimeter seam allowance, continue with that. Or if you have a 1.5 centimeter seam allowance because you're using a pattern, then you follow that to get the correct size pocket. You want really sharp corners at the ends, and not so much with this fabric because this is a stretch cotton sateen, but if you have a really thicker fabric on the outside like a denim or a cord and a lighter fabric on the inside, you might want to make sure that you can pull the corners through really cleanly. In order to pull the corners through, you might want to take off some of the bulk. It depends what fabric you're working with. If you've got something really thick, you might want to take the corners off. You might need to trim out or layer out some of the seam allowance. And then you're going to turn your pocket through the opening you left at the first seam line. Take a little time to get your corners how you want them and turn your pocket through. Give everything a really good press, and what you're aiming for is to press it so that the lining is slightly on the inside. So it's just like when you make a collar and you want the under collar to roll slightly back from the outer collar. You want to have nice crisp corners, but that little top of the pocket now reveals the self fabric rather than the lining. You can now hand stitch this bit here. This was where you turned your pocket out. A good invisible stitch is a ladder stitch, and you can find a tutorial for that on our Learn to Sew playlists. It's ready now to apply to your garment. You can add reinforcing corners if you want to, little triangles, or you can just edge stitch onto your piece. It's a really good technique, this, to either combat a very light fabric that is showing through the print on the other side. So if you've got a lighter fabric and when you put your pocket on, you can see the print of your garment. If you put a lining on the back, you can stop that. It's also, which is unusual for a technique, a really great technique for a thicker fabric, because you don't want to have too much bulk when you come to do your edge stitching to put your pocket on. So this reduces bulk, so you've only got your thicker fabric on one side and the other side is much lighter, but it really encloses all the raw edges and makes it easier to apply your pocket. You'll find this technique really useful with the Ilford jacket. This is a jacket with lots of different pocket variations, and you might decide that lining your pocket will just give you more of a coat jacket finish. When you attach your pocket, you'll have that really strong edge in your self fabric and inside the lining, and that's how you line a patch pocket. Another little variation of a lined pocket is if you want to purposely reveal the lining on the inside. So in this instance, I've got two fabrics the same. So I'm going to put them together, sew all the way around and leave a turning point. I've sewn all the way around and I've left an opening here. Again, you'll be wanting to maybe clip the corners if you've got a thicker fabric, or you know your point turner works better that way. And it's best to have an opening on a longer edge rather than at the corner. Don't start your pockets in the corner, because then you'll get one odd looking corner compared to the others. You can see that my one pocket piece is about 1 millimetre smaller than the other, and that means I can definitely be sure that I will have the lining on the back will be just pulling that little turn of cloth over. Okay, we're going to turn this through. So we've got a little shape here. This is just a mini version that I'm showing you, because then you can reveal the one corner of your pocket and you'll see the inside as well, and you'll add a button here. By adding a buttonhole to the corner, you can now create a different shaped pocket that's much easier to put your hand in. I think this kind of pocket has a real vintage vibe. I really like it. You can edge stitch there if you want to, but I just like that it looks just immediately folded down. When you've applied your pocket with the edge stitch, you need to stop stitching at the fold line of your pocket, and it looks super cute. You might also need to line a pocket if you've got a shaped top. So if you've got a tulip shape or a heart shape or some scallops, you'll need a lining so that you get a nice clean edge along the top. So you cut out 2 pieces of fabric, and you're going to take your seam allowance all the way around. I've made this one with a curved bottom and curved top, and you'll need somewhere to turn your pocket through, just like the pockets on the lemon trousers. And if you want to draft your own special pocket top, you'll need to allow a seam allowance here, otherwise you'll lose some of your curved scallop in the seam line. As you can see there, the seam line is straight to allow for the stitches. Ideally, you want somewhere with a straightish edge for turning out, because if you start pushing and manipulating the fabric on the curve where you've cut across the weave, you'll start to misshapen it. So I'm going to leave my opening here on the side where I've got a straight cut of fabric. Obviously, if you're working with curves, then you're going to have to do some of the other things that you know about working with curves on fabric. So you're going to either need to trim your seam allowances. It'll depend how pliable your fabric is. or layer them out completely. You'll need to snip into that V shape if you've got one, in a heart shape or a tulip shape, to enable the fabric to flip and turn. Really sharp scissors are key here with really small tips. If you've got a really light fabric, then you might actually choose to interface this top edge where you've got your shaping so that it holds the shape. You'll need to make all of those decisions based on the weight of your fabric. Will you need to stabilise it, or will it go into the position that you want it to? Okay, now it's time to turn your pocket through. Where you have your opening, you need to make sure that you hold the seam allowance and keep the shape of the pocket. I can see there that's just a little bit blown out. So you want to roll that fabric raw edge to the inside so that you maintain the shape of the pocket. I'm going to go and give that a press. I can see that one's a bit pointy and that one's nice and round. So you can spend as much time as you want to working the fabric on the edge. This lined pocket now is ready to stitch onto your garment. You might choose to do an edge stitch along the top to highlight your pattern design. And another time that you might want to do this double lining pocket is if you've embroidered or done some kind of machine stitching that makes a rough side on the inside. So if you've done some hand embroidery on here, for example, then putting a second pocket on the back and lining it will cover up all of your thread ends and anything that's a little bit rougher. Where the opening is will be closed when you edge stitch or top stitch your pocket to your garment. This gives a real vintage vibe, and that shaped pocket is holding really nicely because it's all clipped out, and a little bit of interfacing would hold that in shape if you've got something more complex. They're all a bit squashed on there, but it's part of my pocket sample book that I'm making. For those who like to ask in comments, today I'm wearing a Greyline Studio Scout tee. It is a woven t-shirt top. It doesn't have darts, so it's really well drafted. I've done a little full bust adjustment on mine, so it fits really nicely across the shoulders in the correct size, but with enough room for my bust. Sometimes I have it tucked in, sometimes I have it out. It's got a little sleeve, and inside here is bound with bias binding. This one is made in a cotton linen look mix. I hope today's video has helped you. If you've been just lining pockets with two pieces the same size, then maybe that little tip of folding the top over will help you to get a better finish. You can follow all of our tutorials over on our YouTube channel. There are lots of playlists there. There's sew alongs, learn to sew videos, a whole fabric masterclass that's being revealed, overlocker series. There's so much to see, and if you subscribe there, it's free. You'll get all of that information to your feed. We'd also love to see you over on our website, where you can make a free account, share your makes, add photographs, interact with other Minerva makers, and you can also just have a great browse around the website. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again soon.